Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
Yes, a very merry rugby union to you all. What a wonderful weekend for the 15-man code. Rugby union it's booming here in Australia. The numbers are up, both crowd and viewership. And this little show is we've hitched our wagon to that star. That's right, Team KOKO and rugby union going all the way to the top. Now, might be a bit of an interesting mood in the show. For today, we haven't really worked out or sussed out how it is. The boys had their 40th on the weekend, and I don't know how they've come in, to be honest. It's confusing, but we will work it out throughout this show. Let's bring them in real quick. First of all, Adam Ashley Cooper, Swoop Holiday, how are you?
Well, my body's here.
Okay, working it out pretty quick. Drew Mitchell, Biv, how are you?
Yeah, look, I've seen better days.
Okay.
Yeah, Pete Murray.
And Matt Gitto,
good, like
Voigt.
you. Yeah,
Ready to go, fantastic.
He got some training done this morning.
Did
Would you
what did
believe?
this morning?
keep it between us.
Okay, because on a podcast you're meant to tell people stuff. And
Yeah, I know, but not when opposition could be watching.
Oh, right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a very special guest in studio. Let's do Tommy's little intro, and then we can get into what happened at the 40th. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, our guest this week has travelled all the way from the land of sumo wrestling, cherry blossoms, and pleasurable toilets. This bloke has played over 100 games for the Tahs, over 70 tests for the Wallabies, and was bribed with a tertiary education to play shoot shield rugby for Sydney University. At club level, this fella wins wherever he goes, whether it be with the Kubota Spears in Japan or banging over 45-metre penalties to down the Crusaders in the Super Rugby final. Please welcome a gent that they affectionately call the Iceman for being cool under pressure but melting pretty quickly when prompted by French referees. You may know him from social media hits such as "You called time off and it didn't have to be this way." So please put your hands together for Aussie Rugby's very own Nard Dog, the one and only Mr. Bernard Foley.
Yeah,
the pig.
Thanks, lads. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome, Nard.
Good read, Prof.
Thank you. I practiced that
Well done.
for the last 3 days. They like to make fun of my reading here, Nard. Yeah, they.
So you did it well.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. And you are down for the 40th? Is that why you came down from Japan?
Yeah, we've got a week off, so a couple of 40th this week. My sisters as well, so a couple of big occasions. But a week to get away, refresh, and go back to the last stint of the season.
Now, before we do get into the 40th again, I know I'm teasing
Sure.
it a lot here. You might see that we are now wearing the official KOKO merchandise, the shirt. It is available in 2 different styles and 2 different colours. And Nard, you throw this one on. There's a little gift for you. Thank you for coming on.
You guys are a merchandise channel
this,
now, are you?
this is, yeah.
We're everything. If we can get some cash.
That's right. Anything to make a bit of cash. So there's this style here, which is the embroidered KOKO flag, which you can get in black, or Biv, you've got the white on as well. If you're listening, have a look. It's nice and embroidered on the chest there. And then Swoop and Goit, you guys have got the KOKO Show on the left breast, and then also on the back if you turn around. Just bend down for me, Swoop. It says it's the Schmitted in logo. So
How does it look, lads?
It's
Looks good.
Oh, nice.
Looks very good.
Yeah, black's good.
mate.
What's that?
XL,
Medium?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So if you want to buy these, they are finally for sale. Geez, you guys have been hammering us. When's the merch ready? Bit
It's
of
ready.
pressure on. It is ready. www.budgiesmuggler.com.au/.
Oh, there it
That
is.
was a big one.
There it is.
I needed to nail that because this is how we make cash. www.budgiesmuggler.com.au/the KOKO Show. Get on there, buy a shirt, and we can ship it anywhere globally. Doesn't matter where
Can
you
we?
are. If you're at the Antarctic station down there, and there's a couple of blokes that live down there, and you're sick for the show, we can get it to them.
What are they looking at? How long would they wait after purchase?
Well, got to put on the sled with the dogs. So I don't know, maybe 4 weeks for them.
That's all right.
But if you're in Wales, lots of viewers in Wales, they love
Yeah.
us. You can get one of these if you're in Ireland, if you're in Japan, if you're anywhere.
#1 podcast in Japan.
Is that true?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Going off.
Is that?
I was going to break the news, but Nard did it.
That is absolutely fantastic. Right, let's get back into it. Nard, you are here first and foremost for the boys' 40th. and then you've got your sisters a bit later on, but you've come down for theirs. How did you rate the party on Saturday night? Nard, what did you think?
Yeah, I was conflicting. Going to a 40th for my first time, seeing the different eras of rugby players, and having to fit in. So it was great. These two put on a great party. They dressed the occasion, but probably Gits led the way with the costume.
Well, if you are watching this, we do have a little photograph that shows the costumes that we dressed as. The two boys, you both went...
I noticed you've cropped
There's
it.
an edit.
There's an edit there.
It's
So-
not just happening in the Royal Palace. We're editing here as well.
We've adjusted a photograph because Drew groped Gits.
Consensually.
Consensually, was it, Gits?
I don't know.
Oh, don't hang me out like that.
No, it's definitely consensual.
You did an amazing Vivian. It's Vivian, right?
Yeah, Vivian was actually... So my wife ordered it, and then when it turned up, because I was going as Ultimate Warrior, like I explained, but then when it turned up, she's like, oh, I can't wear that. That's way too revealing. I wouldn't feel comfortable. She said, I might send it back. I said, I might give that a go. Yeah, let me try that on first.
You
So I
do.
tried it on, and yeah.
And the lippy's great on you, mate. I think it suits you.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you reapply that throughout the night?
Yeah, I took it with me. Yeah.
There's a few people wearing it by the end, I think.
And then obviously
Yeah.
a couple of Hugh Hefners there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drew Hefner and Swoo Hefner.
Wonderful. And then I went as the king, Shane K. Warne.
I thought you were Elise Perry.
Yes, mate. And a lot of people thought that because the wig was a
Prof.
little bit long.
Prof, that ball's looking very shiny.
Yes, and thanks for that.
Must have kept that in pretty good nick.
Yeah, all night Swoop would grab the ball and just he'd really get it nice and shiny next to the old Glenatals. So thanks for that,
You
mate.
can't turn up to a party without a shiny ball.
No, you're right.
Any
So it was
problem.
very shiny all night. And thanks for having us, guys. It was a wonderful.
No, thank you all for coming. It was a great night.
It was a great night. Great costumes.
Yeah.
A lot of
Great
effort.
question.
Good
Lots of effort.
commitment.
What were you,
from everyone.
Nard?
I was a mechanic. What do I want to be when I'm older?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
What happened there? How'd you fall short?
Bumped into you blokes.
Yeah, that'll do it. Actually, on the 40th, like quickly, I bought the boys these two dragon-looking brandy bottles. maybe it
Napoleon
was.
Dragon XO.
Napoleon Dragon XO is what I got them. Gave it to them on the Sunday because I didn't want to carry it around. But because they turned 40th, it was a dragon, and they've turned 40, and the year of the dragon, it's supposed to bring them good luck. So that's why I bought it. And off the back of that, I bought 2 lotto tickets just to test the theory in case you never know.
And it's for tonight's draw.
Yes, tonight's draw. That's right. It is. So I've got one here for you, Swoop. So 50 games
That's
there.
the winning one. We're all splitting that. eh?
And then one for
Oh.
Drew. So
I think this could be
next
the winner.
week, they could come on with Rolexes and gold chains
Will
or
you
probably
keep-
not turn up.
Yeah, will you keep doing the show
Well,
for 30 million?
I could, but it could be the KOKO Show brought to you by Drew.
Yeah, a whole different rundown then, wouldn't it?
I'll give you 5K.
What about you, Swoop? Would you turn up?
Sorry?
Will you be here if you win?
Be
yeah,
honest.
Look, yeah, I will for you blokes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Would
Not
you
this
then
production
just
team though.
For a farewell show.
while we are on
You're gonna
gifts,
buy rugby in
sorry,
Australia.
we also, myself and the production team, which is Tom, Ollie, and did Hugo chip in for this? No, he didn't. Tight ass. So it's just me, Tom, and Ollie. Yeah, so what we did
2K.
was these are also lottery tickets. Sorry, we should have spoken.
Mate, you have...
No.
If you've spent more than me, I'll be
Well,
upset.
here's what I think it's 40 scratchies. Is that right? So one for each year. We are not trying to one up your gift.
Are they
kids.
dollar scratchies?
I'm not sure. Ollie bought them. Are they dollar scratchies?
Yeah, I know.
$40 worth of
Okay.
scratchies. And then it's a bottle of Plonk as well, which is a decent
Mount
bottle.
Mary. That is a very good bottle.
There you go.
That's
so
straight from
congratulations.
the-
Thank you, guys.
Straight from
well,
the
thank
Erskine
me,
cellar,
because-
I reckon.
What did you want to get them, Ollie? Vodka or something? Where? Yeah. I said they don't drink vodka.
I
Now-
drank a fair bit of the shit on the weekend.
Apparently not as good as the Backline Shiraz, Backline Wines, but which I heard was very good. Is it still here? Yes, but it's still a decent drop. So happy birthday
Thank
yeah,
you.
well done,
Thank you,
fellas.
man.
and well done. Now, if you are watching the show and you want to get involved having a shocker today, isn't it?
That's okay. You had a big weekend.
I did. Yeah, I was there till 11:15 on the weekend.
Oh. I don't even want to say what time I rolled in. Let's just
Say
say my parents were staying with me and they were up by the time I got in.
Are they late
Not early
risers?
risers.
They were in the living room and I just sort of shuffled on through and had a bit of an episode and Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about your parents. His old man was trying to pash me all night.
Yeah. Said he had a thing for Julia Roberts back in the day.
That's what he said to me.
Yeah,
I said, go away, Mitch.
And your mum, she bought me a couple of rounds of the bar. She was on the Bundy and Coates.
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah. Yeah. So they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a big weekend.
Fantastic. Now, if you do want to get us on socials, it's Kickoffs and Kick-Ons everywhere except for YouTube, which is Kickoffs and Kick-Ons. So make sure you like and subscribe and all of that. Nard, we're doing a thing if we get 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm getting hair plugs. Swoop's getting an extra surname. So Ashley, Cooper, Coco. Drew's going to do a show nude. And Goit's getting a neck tattoo of the flag.
Of the flag.
Is it the flag?
It's the flag.
Love that.
So now the other thing that's happening currently with the socials, because they are going off, they're growing very quickly, is people are sending stuff to us. So we've got a little segment just to begin called Social Snitches.
Here we go.
And people send in weird shit from years gone by. This is a doozy. This one's Holiday Swoop.
Oh, how good.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
just have a little
I love it when you don't have. It's not about you.
have a little look at this or a listen.
How you going, guys? This is an appeal from Wallaby Camp in Coogee. I've handed out my boots on the lap after the win against the South Africans at Suncorp Stadium, and I've handed over my boots to 2 young kids that were there. But what I've realised this morning when I got into training, that not only did I hand over my boots, but I handed over my orthotics in them, and obviously worth a lot of money to the podiatrist down in Canberra. I'm trying to save $500, and it'd be great if those 2 kids can, I guess, see this appeal. And help my lost and found and give my orthotics back. I'm not asking for the boots back, I'm just asking for the orthotics inside the boots. So any help would be appreciated. If you get the word out, I'd love it. Cheers.
What a lovely fella.
What a time.
What's changed?
Yeah, tight ass, correct. Sunny Coast,
Yeah. Did you get them back?
Well, mate, at the time, there was this podiatrist down in Canberra that was absolutely stinging the boys. Like, he'd rinse the club because he had this partnership with the Brumbies, right? And he'd basically, come in because apparently orthotics, or I had shin splints at the time, and apparently orthotics were the way forward to I don't know, to get rid of them. But anyway, get rid of them anyway. So I'd thrown over. I was a very, after a win in the Wallabies, Suncorp Stadium, you lose yourself in the atmosphere. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to be a good bloke. I'm going to throw my boots in the crowd. Never done it before. Just forgot that I left my orthotics in there. And I didn't want to go back to this bloke in Canberra. I forget his name. If I knew his name, I'd absolutely rinse him now. But I just wanted to save, probably $1,000.
Yeah,
it's a G up.
It's also the niggle. Walk in there, walk here, walk backwards, walk sideways, trying to get your foot, and your feet are not good.
They aren't, right? No. And haven't got any better. So actually, if anyone's watching this, don't go and see a podiatrist. They're not needed.
Oh, really?
Wow, that's punchy.
See, I disagree.
Slam the entire industry.
Oh wow, what an appeal!
Did you get your orthotics back?
They came back.
Did you send them the money for the postage?
Like it worked for David Warner and his baggy green.
Yeah, but
right?
He hid that himself.
Anyway, they made their way back, and
what a beautiful story.
Saved a bit of coin. You ripper.
Fantastic. They do full 3D graphs of your feet now, so you only need to go in once. Remember how you used to do
but
the
they
moles?
didn't in 2005.
No, so you would have had to have gone in and put your feet in the clay again. Yeah. Cool story, Hansel. Okay, so, look, we do have Bernard Foley on, and we're going to get deep into your career and all the amazing things you've done. But we've also got to chat a bit of Superb Rugby and Superb W as well. That's been happening over the weekend. But what we wanted to start with, because it came up on this show, is a little tweet that you wrote. And it went pretty global. Nard, you tweeted, I think it was post the Wales game, when Australia lost 146-4. You tweeted, it didn't have to be like this. We've got the tweet here somewhere. No, we don't. Anyway, we'll bring it up. Can you, I guess we just want to ask, first of all, were you pissed when you wrote it? Or
Definitely. Yes, we
I
all were.
I was actually in the stadium. So I was sitting probably in front of you, behind you.
Definitely in front. You got better seats.
And I think it just came from such disappointment, and seeing the players out on the field, the effort, the emotion that they showed after the game, how distraught they were. That really hit home to me that this was something that they probably weren't set up to succeed, and that was the you go to World Cups, they should be the best environment, the best part of your career is get to go. It's the pinnacle of anyone's career is to go to a World Cup, and I just saw the distraught on the face of those players and the support staff, right, that were a part of that.
Boys?
Do you what did you mean by like it didn't have to be this way? What would you have changed, you think, or what should have been changed?
I just think the inconsistencies, the messaging, and then how players were, as I said before, probably not set up to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I think guys were thrown out to the wolves. The games, the outcomes what it was. But, I think in that whole lead up, the preparation, it could have been very different. And
I agree.
Yeah.
The results could have been different.
Yeah,
because you were over there and we caught up in Nice, and just on the off chance that maybe you get called up, you're keeping fit, you're training, and I was down there on the beach into the pina coladas. You're on the sparkling water, and then going off and training, and then meeting back later for dinner. Was there any communication throughout that campaign, or was it just you wanting to be prepared just in case?
No, it was a bit of both. There was no communication. I'd played the Australia A game 2 weeks before the World Cup started.
You were captain, were you? Were you captain?
Not that game. I captained the first game in Tonga, and then we played against Portugal 2 weeks before. And I thought it'd be a great occasion to stay over there and be involved in the World Cup, and also to be somewhat ready and prepared if there was that case. But it was just also amazing to be a part of a World Cup and to spectate and get to a few of the games.
I guess, Swoop, have you got a question for
Yeah,
Nard?
I was just going to say, it's hard watching that when you can kind of contribute and have influence on a squad. And we know how much of a competitor you are. Where are you left now? The World Cup's over. I know you've gone back to Japan. Have you set new goals? Are there new aspirations? What's ahead for you?
Yeah, I suppose that was I suppose my experience with the Wallabies in 2022, when I was able to come back and play the Bledisloes and play the Spring Tour, really ignited my ambition to go to another World Cup or to be a part of the Wallabies set up again after missing it for 3 or 4 years. And that time away in Japan really refreshed me and gave me a new lease on rugby and what and how I was enjoying my footy and playing my footy. So to have that experience and that taste of it, really invigorated me to want to go back and be a part of the Wallabies. Now, seeing that World Cup and now what's happened since, there's a lot of on the horizon. But for me, I've actually missed a couple of games this year with injury. Had a bit of concussion symptoms. So my focus was if I could always get back and play with the Wallabies and be able to contribute and be able to have an effect on the group, but what also Joe and the team are going to try and do, I would love to. I love the team, and if I could help out and be of some support, I would. However, now my focus is pretty much just getting back on the field for club footy, playing some decent club footy, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Any early comms with Joe? Have you reached out and...
He's wearing a Schmidt shirt too.
Yeah, I've come on the show just to get in his good books. But no, I haven't spoken to him, haven't had any communication at all.
Well, he watches. He loves it. So pick up the call. Talk to Nard.
Could I just ask if... I don't know your relationship status, but if you were to break up, where do you think would be the worst place to be broken up with?
Say that again.
So I don't know I don't know what's going on. Are you
got a
single?
lovely girlfriend.
Oh, there we go. That's great. So what would be, if you were to break up with her, what would be the worst place to be broken up with, you reckon?
Give him some context around this.
No, I don't like that. I like making the awkwardness.
We have realised, that you got to keep it light. So last week we printed off COSMOPOLITAN'S 200 funny questions to get to know your dates.
Oh, lovely.
So we now we just throw a couple in occasionally with the.
So
footy
I was on
players.
question 26. So question 26. Yeah. So if you're breaking up with your missus, where would you be distraught if she broke up with you here? You're like, I'm not here. Wait till tomorrow.
You're on holiday somewhere. Maybe New York together,
Secluded.
having a great time.
On your honeymoon.
Yeah, maybe then, and then maybe you get back to the room and there's just a little note or something, then be hard to enjoy by yourself.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer?
That's actually happened to me in New York. Oh, fuck.
Has it?
Yeah.
Go on, tell the story.
After the 2019 World Cup, went over there. Anyway. Ended up sleeping at a different hotel. It was all very odd. Anyway.
Oh, what a good question. I just
Great
picked,
one.
I went random.
She's now married and got a kid. Fantastic.
Well, she moved on.
No, well, so have I.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
No, I've got one actually. What's the longest you've ever gone without sleep?
Well, I reckon if it was me, it's probably this guy there next to me keeping me awake, I reckon. I wouldn't know, but Swoop would have been a big factor in it.
Yeah, he was guilty of that for me over the weekend.
Jeez.
How many hours did you get on Saturday night, boys? How many hours, Kip?
No.
0.
Got a couple on Sunday.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Perfect. And you watched obviously a lot of rugby over the weekend because we're going to dive pretty deep.
Yeah.
Swoop, you catch all of it?
Not a minute.
Well, this is going to test us. Hey, we're talking tweets. We just thought as a little, segment at the top. We're always trying these things, Nard. We'll have a look at a few other little tweets. Drew, back in 2017, you tweeted...
2017.
Yeah, September 28th. Where does Hugh Hefner go now? He's been in heaven for the past 91 years.
Well, fair question.
Is that inspiration for Saturday night's costume?
Maybe subliminally, because I've obviously been a bit of a fan of Hugh for a while. But geez, he lived some life, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you have enjoyed that life you're in?
Well, I don't think so. I think my anxiety would have been absolutely peaking. Because Anna's wife, Anna, she said, do you really want to be Hugh Hefner when you're growing up? And I said, well, I don't think so, but I certainly wanted to go to one of his parties. And I said,
I didn't want to be Pretty Woman either when I grew up.
But then come to think of it, having 25 wives in the same mansion, that'd be an absolute fucking nightmare.
I think he kept them separate, didn't he? Did you guys used to watch the Playboys of the... What was it? The
Playboy Bunnies?
Playboy Bunnies, whatever it was?
That was when MTV was really kicking off.
Couple of episodes. But didn't they all used to have movie night in his bed and plenty of other things in his bed?
Yeah, I think he used to doze off.
Yeah, I reckon too. They just go with him to further their career.
I think so.
I don't reckon they were
in
love.
Next one, Drew, this is you again. You tweeted, this is 7 years ago.
Wow.
33 single unemployed FML.
Yeah, right.
Do you remember that one?
Probably a bit of an overshare.
You retakes too.
You know what? Yeah, 781 people are worried about you.
I could have had that same message for a number of years.
Copy paste, 34.
Enough of my tweets.
Oh, we've got one here from Swoop. This is a good one.
That was the best.
Well, that's a first. Yeah. One of the weirdest post-match presentations I've been a part of. If you're listening to this, it's a photograph of Swoop standing in the middle. On the left is Godzilla. Is that
Godzilla,
right?
yeah.
And then on the right is, who's that?
I think that's one of the representatives of
Godzilla.
Yeah.
So this is when you're in
Band
Japan.
It's Godzilla's mind. Man of the match performance.
You don't look awkward at all.
I think it was played just outside of... No, actually, it had nothing to do with COVID. I'm just trying to work out why we're standing a metre apart.
No, it wasn't, because I remember seeing it.
It's 2018.
Yeah, it was very awkward.
Very
he didn't even
awkward.
shake your hand and give you the trophy.
Just got told this is where I stand. I got a little mini Godzilla for...
So does Godzilla...
So these days too, if you get MVP of the game, you get sort of gifts or sponsors gifts. So a couple of weeks ago, one of the guys won 60 kilos of broccoli.
That's right.
There was another
used
one.
to give you
how
20
do you
kilos of rice and stuff.
It all turns up in the clubhouse, and everyone helps themselves pretty much.
Yeah.
Or there'd be 40 kilos of rice. And
how much? What sort of size are we talking for 60 kilos of broccoli? Would it fill this room?
Oh, it's a lot of boxes. Yeah.
That's what you're eating for the next month, because you've got a chef. Most of the companies employ a chef for the players. Even parents around Christmas time will ship in 400 watermelons or something, and it's like, oh, thanks for that gift, mate. That was amazing. It's just a different. It's just different. It's still nice.
Does Godzilla still give you the man of the match trophy? Is that a regular thing, or is that just that one match?
No, I think that's just the sponsors.
That also could have been around when that restaurant, that Godzilla in Tokyo, it might have opened around that time, didn't it?
Fantastic. Now, Gitz, you tweeted in 2011. You tweeted, "Thank you, ball boys. Thank you, linesmen." That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
What was this one? Were you playing tennis?
No. So I I got called up to. So I was back in Canberra. So the team went to South Africa. I wasn't with the Wallabies at the time. Well, and after that as well. But I got called up by Robbie Deans. They said, come up. We've got the team announcement for the World Cup for 2011. So I flew up, and then he just said, we don't have a spot for you. But they still had me staying the night and going to dinner with the boys that are picked for the squad. So I said, mate, can I just change my flight? Can I get out of here? So they changed my flight, and then as I was waiting for the taxi, I just went, oh, thank you, ball boys, thank you, linesman, that's it, like thinking like I'm retired kind of thing. But the announcement hadn't happened from the ARU, and I didn't know that you could get in trouble for it. So then they tried to fine me as well. I said, listen, I think you've punished me enough here. So we, that was the history behind that one.
Right. So did Robbie give you a reason why you weren't in that squad?
He said he was going a 17-13 split, so 17 forwards, 13 backs. And I said, okay, that's fair enough. You've got your reasons, but why did you fly me up here to tell me that? And he said, well, it was, out of respect for what you've done for the jersey, and just thought that we should tell you face to face. I said, well, if it's about respect, then why is Jim Williams getting changed out of his undies over in the corner there and the strapping getting put away like it just wasn't that feel. And I wanted to get out of there. I was embarrassed. All the boys there had been picked for the squad, and I just wanted to get home.
Yeah. Sorry for bringing that up.
No, that's fine.
Good one, Prof.
Yeah.
No, but I think it was fine. I couldn't, it doesn't bother me,
That's
but
right.
it's just, I couldn't put a funny twist on it.
No, you did right. But then, hey, look, 2015, all the way to the final. You're still playing for San Diego Legion. How'd they go on the weekend?
Bonus point win away. We went to DC, had a big win. Now 3 from 4. Also, there's a lot of people reaching out saying, what's the deal with Gitz? I thought he'd signed. I had signed. You're not my agent. Have signed. I'm going there. But when Legion approached me, I already had things we'd agreed upon for the podcast. So the good people at San Diego gave me the opportunity to still fulfill these commitments, and then I'll go back. So I'm going back very, very soon.
For the big run to the finals.
Yeah.
And then KOKO Show.
Yep.
Over there. We'll do it.
We doing that?
Oh,
Yeah.
surely we have
Yep.
to.
Surely. For your last game. Well, you might go again, will you?
No. Well,
We'll
if
find out.
they if they send you guys over, then I'll have to do it. So if you negotiate for me,
Yeah.
I don't have a choice.
All right, very good. We'll see how we go. Hey, it's time for our rugby roundup segment, which we're going to get deep into your career. Don't worry, Nard. It will get easier. But there was a lot of rugby that took place on the weekend. Let's just down here in Australia in particular. Swoop, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, you watched all of that Hurricanes 54 Rebels. What were your takeaways from that game, mate? Let's talk about the first line out.
What did they run?
You tell me. I didn't see it.
Oh, right. Oh, you didn't see it either.
No, so Hurricanes 54 defeated the Rebels. That's 5 from 5 for the Canes.
They're flying.
Yep.
Yeah, they are flying.
Absolutely.
Ray
flying.
Arcee out on the edge. Very good.
Can anybody touch them?
I think so.
Yeah.
I just reckon the Rebels team, it looked a bit like no disrespect to them, but it looked like a training run. The ball was so quick for the Hurricanes. They could do what they want. I think at half time it could have been close to 30 points already, was it? But it was more the 33-0, yeah. So the second half, I think they took their foot off the pedal, but the Rebels showed a bit of character there to come back. But, yeah, they were impressive.
Yeah, this is where I think with the Rebels, a lot of the sort of more experienced, established star players need to really step up. Like, I understand and appreciate what they're going through off the field and maybe some uncertainty around. And then, there's some, I guess, rumours around players getting poached from other national competitions and whatnot. But they're there at the Rebels now. They just need to also, if they have aspirations to play Wallabies as well, I'm sure Joe Schmidt and his team would like to see them be able to put that distraction to the side and play really well and play to the level that he expects from his Wallabies. Because even some of the messaging, I spoke to Joe Schmidt at the Randwick Rugby Luncheon on Friday. He just wants to see people that want to add value, that want to, that it means something to them, that they invest themselves in what they're doing. And I think because of the situation they're in, if they're able to go out in there and put those performances consistently back to back, then that would also help them a lot moving forward into a Wallaby selection.
Beautiful moment for Carter Gordon, giving his brother is it a hat that you give it on your debut?
Cap.
Oh, I didn't say that. I thought you were talking about when he spewed. You see when he got cut in half? I think they've hit him right in the nuts, maybe.
Yeah,
because he was down on all fours spewing, and I thought that's where you were going with it.
No, I wish I had. That's much
Yeah.
more interesting than what
No, but the brother, I think it's a nice touch.
And then he threw the ball to his brother to go for the try on debut, so that's nice for the Gordons.
Yep.
And then the Rebels next week, they take on the Tahs. So they're about equal pegging at the moment, would you say, the Waratahs and the Rebels?
Well, I mean, Tahs have been in every game. You know, they've not been winning, but they've been
very close.
Losing very close matches. That's their next sort of progression, is to be able to win those. Tane Edmund last week missed the penalty goal. He missed the field goal in super point time in this most recent weekend. We spoke about it. You've got to step up and nail those moments.
So what happens off the back of those performances? It was said at the start of the year for DC they were going to review DC's role after 4 or 5 games. You know, I think, what is he, 1-4?
Yeah. So they went down to the draw 39.
Knowing that they have been competing but narrowly losing. I mean, you're on the board, Drew.
Oh, yeah.
Nard? No, scenario.
Oh, right. I wouldn't be on the tar board. Don't leave me
Let's
alone.
put you there just for this.
Well, sack them all. I don't care.
What are you doing? I mean, what's the conversation?
I don't want them to go well, son, so I'm Brumbies.
What about for DC, though?
Oh, obviously, I think I've been coached by DC. I know how much value he can bring. As a 10, I really like the messaging he gives. I feel really clear, confident, and excited about his game plan. He's got a couple of trick plays each week, which, you know, the boys get excited about. So to have those in your back pocket, I like being coached by DC. I think he's very good. Obviously, results, I don't know what that means for him long term, but I'd love to see him stay. I think he's a good coach. Personally, I really enjoy being coached by him.
Yeah, I'd also think, what do you gain by getting rid of him at this stage of the season? You know, they're a team that, as we said, they could have won nearly all their games, right? They've been in every game, if for not a couple of kicks. So I think for the Super Rugby too, it's about having momentum going into the finals. There's a top 8, so if you win your last 3 or 4 games, you've got that momentum to go into that finals. You can sort of start knocking off the bigger teams. So I think, they're a team that they're relying on a few individuals, and they're playing probably a bit like that. But if they can click and play together, I reckon they can do some good things.
Yeah, I think it'd be silly if they got rid of him now, because who do they go to next? If there's no better replacement waiting in the wings, then what's the point of doing it? You're almost giving up a whole season. At least DC's had a couple of years with him. He's had a pre-season. He's got plans in place. Someone comes in new and afresh, then you're almost giving him a leave pass to not do well for the rest of the year. If it's a matter of re-signing him or whatever like that, they're decisions that can be made, but don't have to be made this week. And I think it'd be.
Also, Golden Point can swing either way,
Yeah.
and
especially in Fiji.
Yeah.
You know,
You've still got Mad Monday.
Yeah,
Like,
Normally
you don't
wins
want to
that,
get rid of DC before Mad Monday. That's when he comes into his own.
So Brumbies, your Brums, you
Yep.
are Mr. Brumby. They're getting going.
They are.
They 60 defeated Moana 21.
Yep.
Lola Seo, he's starting to fire at 10.
Yep.
Is he in your Wallabies 15?
Yeah, well, I said I like the way he's playing. Obviously, his stint at Toulon, I think served him really well.
Yeah.
He's come back with a lot of confidence. Obviously, I think with Bernie, like Stephen Larkham as the coach, he would have told Noah, look, you're my 10, I'm going to stick with you. And when a player gets told that, you know, you'll give him time to find his groove. He doesn't feel under pressure, doesn't feel like he's got to make miracle plays, which maybe the Wallabies have been guilty of with him, because he's been in and out and not been able to find his consistency. I mean, you've trained with him, Nard. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it goes across the board with all the young 10s. I think there's so much expectation put on them early. They play one good game, everyone's talking about they should be in the Wallabies as the next Wallaby 10. So I think you're seeing what Noah's benefiting off is a forward pack that's going forward. There's a couple of good quality players around him. I know you'd probably agree, Gitz, but if you've got a 9 that can help run the game, and if you've got a 12 and a 13 talking to you, as a 10, your job's so easy, right? You just got to execute what you're being told and steer the ship. But you also can get to play with freedom, because you don't feel like the burden's all on you and you have to run every play or have to touch it. So I think that with all the 10s in the country, if we can build the framework around them, let them play their natural game, drive the game and learn from their failures and their lessons, then each of those players will thrive in those environments.
Yep.
Let's move on. Chiefs.
Just the number 8 for Brumbies, is it McHale?
Yeah.
What's
Cale.
that? Cale.
Cale.
Charlie Cale. He's impressive.
He's got gas.
Yeah,
Isn't he?
yeah.
He's quick.
When he got up in that inside ball,
Yeah.
He gets up, moving.
Do you
He's
play
had
him
a
at
couple
8 or
of
do you
strong
play him at
games.
6?
Well,
He's got a lovely gait, Swoop, when he runs. You'd love that gait.
Love Gate.
Yeah.
Love Gate. Gate's important.
I mean, he could definitely play 6. He's definitely tall enough as another, like a third line-out option, fourth line-out option. But yeah, he's an athlete. Like I like the way he's moving out there at the moment.
Before we go to the next question, can we turn the aircon on?
The aircon's not
No,
working
we can't,
again,
mate.
You fucking
Because
kidding
they charge Hugo apparently $300 to clean the filters, and he wasn't going to pay $300.
So they've come in overnight and sabotaged it.
Yeah.
So you guys got to work out that dispute.
I might need a cold one then to cool me down.
Yeah.
You boys don't want
Oh,
this
sorry,
shirt back.
Tommy Tim grabbing a... Oh, they're here. I've got them. Sorry, mate. Here you go.
The
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
you wouldn't have a great deal of water in your system too, Swoop.
Would you like another one here?
No, but plenty of
Gits?
everything
Yeah,
else.
There we go.
please.
Sorry, boys. While we're filling up the beer glasses, Chiefs 28 defeated the Highlanders 21. Chiefs, they ran away to a 21-0 lead. It was all Chiefs, and then those Highlanders, they reeled them back in with a red card on their side. So both sides looking pretty good. Old Damien McKenzie's firing, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is, mate.
It was also it was great to see Quinn TUPOU back as well.
Yeah, I was about
He'd
to
been
say
out
that.
for a long time from that knee injury in a Bledisloe, and it was good to see him back out there and in that 12 jersey.
Then the Blues 26 defeated the Crusaders 6.
Good
Ah.
jersey.
Ooh.
Yeah, great jersey.
Yeah,
I like the old school. It reminds me of the photos that you used to see of Jonah playing.
yeah, Jonah and Carlos and all the boys.
Surely there's got to be some type of... They're in crisis mode, surely. Crusaders.
Oh, the
Have you
Crusaders.
seen a fall from grace like that in professional sports? A team that's just won a championship to losing their first. The only one I can think of.
Well-
No, actually, I can't. I was going to say Adelaide Crows, but they didn't win.
You wouldn't really say they're in
you
a
wouldn't-
huge
you can't
crisis, but
You can't refer to
rugby
it
in
as-
New Zealand's massive. Like,
Yeah. And I think they've all had so many changes, right, in so many key positions, starting from the head coach down to through all the player and the rosters. So they're in a rebuild.
yep.
They've got a couple of old guys helping them out.
You
Made them
played
right.
under Rob Penny, didn't you, at the Tahs?
I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't?
I just missed him.
Yeah, right. I was
At,
going to ask
um,
if you rate him.
You can still ask from a distance. Do you rate him or?
Oh, I think he plays a style that people enjoy. He wants to play with width. He wants to play with ball in hand. So they're probably working that out now and probably, having a few teething problems.
That game wasn't a bad performance. Like, it was a tight game. It was just the Blues got a couple of tries. But the game was pretty tight. I think it was like 6-3 or something at half time.
Yeah,
It was only penalty goals.
We're just not used to talking about the Crusaders being 0-5. I
Exactly,
think that's like
yeah.
what makes it more, I guess, shocking, I suppose, because you never put an 0-5 start alongside the Crusaders, whereas now that's the reality of it. But what previous years they've not always been the greatest starters, but they come good. I mean, it's going to be a big turnaround if they were to do something special this year, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Matt Tamua tweeted, I don't know if you saw that, about how New Zealand don't have enough depth to field 5 Super Rugby clubs.
Yeah.
Mate, I think he was spot on.
Yeah.
Been
He's
saying it
getting
for
punchy
years.
with his tweets.
Yeah, and he
Pup,
tweets a
lately,
lot.
isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
I think
Good on
he's
him.
chasing a media gig.
Well, he could do, something
Running
like
a-
yours. Like,
he's
I'm
already running a
single
podcast,
and
isn't he?
Oh,
yeah,
is he?
he's on
Raw
the Raw or something. But I would just say, just be careful of your tweets if you want to go into the media.
I'll second that too.
We should have dragged that tweet up. Why didn't we bring that one up? That's a good one. Now, here's the one that we saw when we were at the pub that nobody could believe. We thought we'd all had a couple too many. The Force, 40 defeated the Reds, 31.
Yeah.
Big upset there. The Force were 0-4. The Reds were firing. Simon Cron. Your mates with him, aren't you?
Yeah, he's doing good things. Yeah, Cronny, yeah. He and also the good news keeps coming from the Force. Just announced that Sam Carter is coming back from Leicester Tigers. Played 16 tests for the Wallabies. He's going to finish the season out, the Western Force.
Gee, you've got your finger on the pulse.
I know, especially for someone who didn't have much of a pulse all weekend. Oh, mate, yesterday it was dicey. Oh.
Yeah. How close to calling the paramedics were you?
Yeah, no, paramedics.
What, the white jackets coming in?
Yeah, the sideboard, everything. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting.
Padded room.
Oh, the things I saw, or at least thought I saw.
All right, so we do a little segment on here, Nard, which I'd like you to get involved in. We've got a brand new sponsor on here, BeefEater, the barbecues. Have you got a barbecue?
BeefEater.
I don't, not in Japan. Maybe I've got to look at getting one.
BeefEater. Mate.
Cook all your broccoli on it.
They are the best, and it's a brand new segment. It's called the Super Sizzler.
Super Sizzler, brought to you by BeefEater. Life tastes better outdoors.
And basically, we each go around and we pick somebody in the Superb Rugby that sizzled over the weekend. And I guess, do you want to start, Gits? Do you want to do your sizzler?
No, Swoop should start, I think.
Swoop, who's your sizzler?
Well, didn't watch much footy, but Harrison Goddard getting his first start for the Brumbies. Obviously didn't get much game time when he was with the Waratahs under Jake Gordon, but good to see him getting a start. Obviously played very well. They, helped the team get to 60 points over a very good team in Moana. So well done, Godsey, if you're watching, mate. Good to see you get a start. Good to see you running around and keep going, bud.
Good nomination. Has he got a barbecue?
No, not
Tell
yet.
him to get a
No,
BeefEater.
but Godsey, he can create fire from sticks. He's a magician. He's great.
Fantastic. Do you want to
He
go
doesn't
next
need
for your sizzler?
Yes. And I'll take his barbecue if you're passing him on.
Okay.
So my sizzler, Yosefo Masi, the 13 from Fiji and Drew. He scored a hat-trick against the Tahs, 2 tries the week before. I just think he's super strong. He's a great carrier. Looks like you like someone strong in the hips. He looks strong in the hips. I just think he's almost an untapped talent.
Fantastic. Great nomination. Does he have a barbecue?
We should give him one.
We should. BeefEater. Nard, have you got a nomination or?
I don't have one. I'll probably say the Force. Being able to score 40 points against a pretty spirited Red side. And I think the way that they want to play and the way that Simon Cron wants to play is really starting to come through. They're pretty... he's pretty regimented and everyone knowing their roles, but he wants to see ball movement. He wants to see guys in motion, and I think we're starting to see that at the Force, which is exciting.
Absolutely sizzling over there in the West. Do they have barbecues?
Not that we know of.
Well, send them BeefEaters. Hey, what do you got, Druza? Who you got?
Mate, I want to send a BeefEater up to Fiji because Mick Byrne, head coach of Fiji and Drua, came up with an absolute
Mick the kick.
burn on DC, his opposing coach. So a couple of years ago or a year ago or whatever, when the Waratahs beat the Fijian and Drua, Darren Coleman was quoted saying, let's not get carried away. It's not like we beat the Chicago Bulls. And then after the press conference on the weekend, Mick Byrne went to the press conference with a Chicago Bulls hat on.
Oh, no, DC.
That is a good burn.
Yes.
Yeah, well
punchy.
played. I like that. It'll just come a couple of little side stories and layers to it. It's nice.
You know my question I'm going to ask.
Yeah, it does.
Do you know if he...
I don't know, but
All right,
let's get him one.
let's give him a BeefEater.
Yeah.
What about you, Prof? You always ask the questions. You got to... Oh, have I cut you? Have I come in early?
No.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. My sizzler for the weekend is the kids. So it was Superb Rugby Kids Round.
Yep.
And all the kids were wonderful, the way they usher the players on and go out into the field. And it was just wonderful to see all the kids out there embracing rugby union.
Do the kids have a barbecue?
No, but we're going to send them one. We'll send them a
Send it to
BeefEater.
their parents.
I reckon, I was thinking about this. What if next year for Kids Round, if each team is allowed to play a kid in their starting 15?
Where are you playing him?
Well, wherever you want.
What's
I think
your
it's-
age limit?
I think it's got to be under 7s.
Probably double points if the kid scores.
Double point.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good. Double kids. Double points. Double kids. Just something to think about.
Maybe
Yeah.
you definitely lift him in the line out,
Yeah, that's a good shout.
throw him up.
Yeah.
I think it's got real merit.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a kid in Jonah Lomu rugby, like Mathers or something?
Oh, he was quick.
Wasn't he?
Gee, he was quick.
How old was he?
I know,
Oh.
he was just tiny.
No, he's just small. Like Jonah Lomu rugby on the PlayStation way back.
Yeah.
You had like a team of Lomus. Then there was another team, all-star team. You had a big bloke that could just shunt like that his whole way 100
They
metres.
could just what?
Shunt, like
Yeah,
how we
yeah,
do
yeah.
that. Like, because he wouldn't put a fend out.
Mm.
It was just like you couldn't hit him. And then you had the little fella, like Nard's height. He's just quick.
Quick,
everywhere.
Run backwards, run around.
Yeah.
Mate, it was a good game.
Yeah, very good.
Bit of other news floating around. Oh, just before I go, BeefEater, they're going to provide us a barbecue in here. Hugo has said we can cook whatever we want. He said forget... Hugo, he said forget any sort of fire, problems. No
I was
aircon.
going to say, it feels like we're cooking
I was
something.
about to say, you know the beauty of that? We wouldn't even need to turn the barbecue on.
No.
Like
We
this
could just
studio
hook on the
sizzling.
grill
Yeah.
because it's so hot. And the other thing they're providing, What about this?
Oh, here we go.
Well, courtesy of Appliances Online, they're
Yes.
helping out as well. They are providing a fridge, a bar fridge.
Wow.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. God, it's all coming up,
You
Coco.
get me a bed and I'm not
Yeah,
leaving.
we could move in.
Yeah.
Well, Hugo already lives here when his missus hates him, so he
Little
sleeps.
hot, though.
Yeah, on the couch here most weekends. Anyway, a bit of other rugby news is around. There's a lot of chat around, and you were alluding to this earlier, that Taniela, that Leicester are sniffing around.
Leinster.
What did I
Ireland.
say?
You said Leicester.
The
Leicester's
football
where
club. Soccer.
Izzy Parisi went. Leinster is the Irish side where Taniela's linked.
Okay, well, it's the latter that they're looking at him. It's looking at a $950,000 a year deal as opposed to his $1.2 million a year. It's good.
that pounds?
That is good cheddar. Yeah. What? Oh, is it pounds? No, Aussie dollars. Still good cash. Obviously, he's contracted till 2025. I guess that's if the Rebels fall over, he will go. Care to comment?
Well, I mean, that's the landscape we've got now with the uncertainty around the Rebels. There's perceived uncertainty around the Brumbies and even the rugby RA's financial situation. So, we're starting to see players start to look and entertain options from overseas, and that's just the nature of it now with the situation we found ourselves in, and that's through poor governance for a long period of time at various different levels, and you can't begrudge players for entertaining that. But if we're going to start losing all our stars, then we have to change the laws and make sure our best players are playing for Australia.
Yeah. I think he's going early because I've seen Australian rugby on the way back up. And I know you think I'm joking, but honestly, crowds on the weekend were amazing. The
performances,
viewership.
the games.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see these players go, but you wouldn't be able to. You can't begrudge them if they do entertain it.
You just like to think what's on the horizon here in Australia with the rugby, the Lions tour next year, the World Cup in 3 years. You'd really kick yourself if you're overseas and you miss those. And you
say everything goes well now, which obviously I hope it does. In your head, you're worried about that. Is the Lions something you're eyeing off potentially?
Like World Cup's a pinnacle. Lions aren't far behind.
Yep.
I only got the smallest of taste back in 2013, so not having experienced a full Lions tour or being part of the Wallabies in a Lions tour, it's definitely on the radar. But I think there's a lot of footy to be played.
I get that.
You've got to put yourself in the best position and also be a part, because I think if you target the Lions, you've also probably got to build a squad that's looking a bit further ahead too, right? In terms of the World Cup, because it is such a big occasion, a good experience and growth for the next generation.
It's also good having a bit of experience around.
Yeah,
I think that as well. Like, you've obviously got to have one eye on the 27 World Cup, but we've all said the 5 young 10s at the moment, like they've all gone in early. We've all put so much expectation and pressure on them, and they've. You could argue that they've gone in too early, and now they're getting that experience, and they're going to be the guys that are in those positions moving forward. But we saw the impact of not having an experienced 10 at the most recent World Cup. I'd love to see at least one experienced 10 amongst a select couple of the younger ones coming through, at least for the Lions. Until then, 2 or 3 years' time, and come 27 World Cup, then they are the experienced players. But at the moment, they're not there yet.
Well, those first 2 test matches sold out in like 45 minutes for the Lions in Sydney and Brisbane, and Melbourne. I mean, it's a big stadium, but it's selling out very quickly.
Yeah.
So
It'll go.
Oh,
yeah.
They travel.
Fantastic, very exciting. And before that, Wales come here, and Georgia, which, as we know, touch and go for the Wallabies. Georgia, they pumped Portugal in that final. Surely they've got to be knocking on the door of 6 nations. Don't they make it 7 nations?
There's talk of that a while ago when they wanted to kick Italy out. They said they're not competitive anymore. Let's bring Georgia in. And now, obviously, the Italians are doing well. They're going to be tough. Listen, Prof, sorry. What do you reckon's the most underrated sex position?
Is this to me?
To you. You seem like a sexual type.
Now, just so I know, I know.
Yes, Stephen.
Is there somebody in the room with me?
Yes, of course, your wife.
Okay, I'm going to go the Argentinian pencil pusher.
Yeah.
Have you guys done that one? It involves a pack of Derwents. I think they're all underrated.
Yeah.
I think it's just wonderful being on the nest.
Great answer.
I've got another one, maybe for everyone, but what do you lie about to your doctor?
Me?
Oh, wow.
That's a good one.
Oh, what about when they say, are you a Like, are you a casual drinker? You drink once a week or
that's what I
just
was
one
saying.
glass? Yeah. Oh, mate, probably a glass every couple of weeks. Or
I'm like 5 on a Saturday night.
Yeah. And did you have one?
Oh, probably my height. I just always say I'm 6 foot.
Mate, you can't add 2 feet. Like that's
Very good. Hey, it is time for the Bernard Foley segment.
yes.
Dig
Here
deep
we go.
into Nard. Now, we have another sponsor. We're NordVPN, which you can see just over my shoulder here. A wonderful sponsor. And we've been keeping a close eye on you in Japan and all your games because you probably didn't think it was possible, but thanks to NordVPN, we've been able to swap our virtual location and we've been able to watch you tearing it up in Japan every single minute. Swoop in particular. He comes in here. Just see what Nard did on the weekend. So as a gift on the show, we're going to give you access to our account so you can do the same and watch all your favourite shows and sports shows from Australia while you're in Japan. That's what NordVPN do. We've sort of been asking everybody this. Have you watched the Wallabies doco?
Oh, yeah.
I actually haven't, no.
no, you can when you go back because of the VPN.
Oh.
NordVPN.
Downstairs, yeah.
Which VPN?
Nord.
That's the one.
NordVPN. So, just a reminder, Nord, if you want to get a NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/the KOKO Show. Our link will give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. It might be the last week of this sponsorship, but if you like this show and you jump on and you give them money in some weird kind of way, it results in us getting money. I don't get it, but get on there and make sure you subscribe to them and to us. Now, Nard, you've played rugby a long time. Just looking at the sheet here. Let's start with you two boys at the Waratahs because this is what we want to know, right? Swoop and you in 2014. Massive win for you against the Crusaders. Can we go back to that final and how much you remember of it? And obviously you got the double, Swoop, and then you kicked that winning goal, Nard. Good memories, or have you forgotten it all now, boys?
No, it's great memories. I think the most memorable thing was the whole lead up, and the year, how the group got so tight, the culture and the build up to the final was something pretty special. And then, the game a bit of a blur, but we were lucky to get the chocolates and we celebrated for the next few days.
Next few.
Yeah.
Gold. Yeah, it was interesting. Like, I think, special games, you can kind of... Well, most games you can recall certain moments in the game, or you might be able to watch a highlight and then kind of recall either a couple of phases leading into that or what followed that. But for that reason, I can't recall any of that match. It was a genuine blur. I just think maybe it was the build-up, the occasion of it being a final, potentially the fact that I'd been in a lot of grand finals previously, all the way through juniors, and never won one. So I don't know. And the way, I guess, the way Czech built it up, we did a lot of work, I guess, physically and mentally. That we were just so in the moment, we're prepared, and so present that being able to recall that was really, really hard. But I guess what we can remember is everything that followed, celebrations, the time we spent in the change rooms together, celebrating that moment, celebrating the year, reflecting. Then on to the Ivy, then back to the Pentagon. The Pentagon was where Bernard shacked up with a couple of the boys, 4 other blokes, hence why it's called the Pentagon. It was you, Fipsy, John O'Lance, Mick Hodge,
and Josh Coops.
And Josh Coops, the Muggle. And we end up spending the rest of our celebrations there for the next couple of days, which was good fun.
Yeah, the house got through pretty unscathed. I think it was missing a few windows, a couple of doors, but other than that was... plenty of good times, yeah.
Swoop, didn't you also help with the emotionally prep by writing a poem or something?
Yeah.
I'd love to read that or hear that poem. Imagine his poem. Roses are red, violets are blue.
Mate, I'd prefer to read it. There'd be so many spelling mistakes too.
Do you remember it, Swoop?
I don't. Yeah, look, I think I just dedicated a paragraph or a chorus to each of the blokes. I went on for a little bit. I told 23 paragraphs. Yeah, I was up until 5 a.m. doing it. Obviously, I had my wife there helping me with all the spelling corrections. But, and Dano lent a bit of a hand as well. But I told the boys, I said, look, I've written a little bit of a poem. Do you mind just taking an E? Anyway, I was about halfway through it and we're 30 minutes in, you could see the boys start to really fatigue up on their knees. I said, okay, maybe just take a seat. We've got a little bit while to go. But
What about you just trim the poem?
The funniest was he was up all night, and then we're doing our captain's run, and then after we just think it's a little huddle so the kickers can go do their kicking, throwers can do their throw, do your individual prep for the big game the next day. And then Swoop calls us in, we get down on one knee, and we're there for probably an hour and 45. But,
this would have been blowing up.
Oh, my mate.
So
I've got to warm
impatient.
back up again, kick.
Do you think, though, that the poem was the difference?
It worked.
Do you think that's what won you the title?
Oh, it was. I think there was a lot of instances through that season, right, where we connected so well off the field that actually helped bring us together on the field. And I think even the week before, we'd won the semi-final on the Saturday night, and the Sunday we'd sort of had a bit of a Sunday recovery group where we'd always sort of meet in Bondi. We might have a swim and a lunch, and then it sort of a couple of beers and put the week to bed. But I remember that after that semi-final, Swoop's like, nah, we've got to do everything we normally do. Because we think, no, we've got a good grand final, let's just take it easy. And so
Beach
Swoop's
road,
like,
couple of bets, 12 beers, home by 8.
But yeah, and then I think that put us in such good stead going into that game. And, we're up against a really quality Crusaders side. And I remember, feeling that we were quite dominant through that game, but, with 2 minutes to go, we were behind. And it was just a seesawing, just an epic clash that we're lucky enough to get the win at the end.
What was the sorry, Prof?
No, go.
What were you going to say?
I was going to ask about standing over the ball for that last kick and what was going through his head.
Well, see, that's better because mine will lead into how long was there to go for that. They got to kick off, and then you had to secure the ball. Like they would have felt like forever. But go to your one.
Mine first?
Yeah.
So obviously, penalty. Richard McCaw gave away a penalty, and you are standing over the ball. How far out are you, Nard?
It was 62 or something.
62 metres. And what's the wind doing? It was howling, wasn't
howling.
it? Yeah, unseasonably.
But the interesting thing about that, I think it was 45 metres, but we'd sort of had a rule that, being the pop gun I was to take all kicks sort of inside the 40, and KB was the long-range goal kicker that season, so anything over 40 KB would take. But I'd been actually kicking quite well that night, and it was probably right on the on my limit. And it's probably not fair to throw the ball to him to take his first kick of the night in that occasion. But the interesting part is when the penalty's awarded is how everyone reacts around you. Some guys just they try and give you space. Other guys come up and say, I remember Pete Beetham coming up and say, "Don't worry, mate, we love you anyway." I was a bit
He'd already written you off.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think I'd done some kicking too with Andrew Mertens that year, and he was on the commentary team. And I'm sure he's wearing his Crusaders jersey underneath as well. But he wrote me off as well, so didn't think I had it. Oh, I just said I think it's a bit too far for him. But my only memory really of that was just thinking how good this stadium's going to be when this goes over. And when I kicked it, when it came off the boot, I actually thought I'd missed to the right, and it was travelling, and then it sort of started to hook back. It was a bit like that Qantas ad where everyone sort of leans and it starts coming. And then I didn't think I'd actually had the legs, and it just crept over.
There you go. Yours now gets.
Yeah, but I'll go to Swoop.
Oh,
So how long did you have to go? You had to secure the kickoff, didn't you?
30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
And I think actually the Crusaders probably rushed that because they were always going to get a kick-off, but they probably raced back and took it.
It was too long, wasn't it?
They kicked it too long and probably weren't set. So, we were lucky to play those last couple of phases, and I think at one stage it was a bit iffy.
I think did Kibbo put the ball out?
Kicks it out.
I remember him going absolutely nuts once it come off his boot.
What did that kick cost you? Another 3 skulls or something, or 3 points? You were drinking with Ali Williams at the time.
Ali Williams and he was former Crusader, former Waratahs in Toulon. It was 11 a.m. and we had the 100ml Heinekens, and we thought at the start of the game we'll have one of these for every point our team scores, and it was 34-33. So we were well on our way at the end of that game. And then anyway, in the end, I gave him a wedgie. He thought I started to fight him. He punched me in the face.
Yeah, Drew was concussed.
Yeah.
Bianca was worried about it.
time,
Yeah. Then Mamuka Gorgodzi, the Georgian prince, he said, "You okay, bro?" I killed him, bro. I said, not right now, Mooks. I'll let you know if we need it.
Good to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go. Let's jump from Superb Rugby into your international stuff. So played a lot with these boys. Oh, no, I want to ask you, 2015 Rugby World Cup, you were there. Everybody did very well. What was it like touring with these guys, first of all?
Yeah, well, it was sort of the first time I got to meet Gitz. He'd gone overseas and was a bit of an enigma before that. And so, I think what these two brought back was experience for that squad, professionalism, and, made that journey or that whole campaign really enjoyable. To play alongside these blokes and to be a part of a World Cup, which was something pretty special.
What's the real answer? Who's a jerk? What was Gitz okay on tour?
No, it was early on. Yeah, I tried to make it.
We didn't do much. I think I roomed with Drew my very first trip to South Africa with the Waratahs, and we were in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And I thought Cape Town, what a good place. We got a day off on the Wednesday, going to go out and do Table Mountain and see the sights. But Tuesday night came around and Drew said, "Go on, mate, we're going out." It was a bit of a team do.
Yeah.
And a few guys got their cards skimmed at the ATM, and I don't think I saw the sun on the Wednesday.
You learn pretty quick.
The whole time.
Drew's not a tourist.
Oh yeah, I don't do museums and fucking sights and all that. Like, I'm a moth, mate. I'm attracted to the bright lights.
All right, very good. So, obviously, you played that World Cup, and then you played for Australia a lot. And there's one that we have to chat about that happened recently in 2022, because we all watched it as a country. Bledisloe.
Everyone,
the whole country watched it. You know what I'm talking about here, when you didn't kick the ball out. So, I guess I don't know what the question to ask off the back of this.
Why didn't you kick the ball?
I didn't want to say.
Or did he give you enough? No, I'm on your side, Nard. I thought he's wrong.
To be fair, we sort of had a bit of a running battle all game, myself and the ref, and
it
sort of stemmed from I was sort of new in that squad. I'd only sort of joined the squad 3 weeks before. And we went down to 13 men, and I was trying to manage the game, understand who was my line-out caller, what plays we were going to do to try and manage the period when we were off. And that's sort of what kicked it off with the ref trying to speed up the game. And, there was a couple of other incidents throughout the game. And it got to the end, and we were still working out what time, and he came up to me and said, "Time's off." And then I think you hear in the audio that he actually said time's back on, but he never told me that, and I thought it was time will come back on when I kick the ball, and it wasn't like I could milk the game and the game was going to be finished. It was, we still had to go to the line out, we still had to play the line out, so it wasn't me just trying to finish the game there and then. But it was definitely maybe a little bit of ego and a bit of us clashing, but also I didn't hear him say time was back on or that he was going to blow up the scrum.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been exactly that. But now that you say that, because you guys may be having a bit of a running clash, because people have gone back and looked at that game, and there was many instances, whether it's penalties or short arms, where you and Richie Mwanga both took more than 60 seconds, on a number of occasions. Throughout the 80 minutes, but didn't sanction any of those, only when obviously the game was in the balance. And that's obviously the argument about whether, the consistency and all that sort of thing. But, maybe because you got, in your mind, you felt like you had that running battle that he just clipped you a couple of seconds.
I reckon also, like, a ref's got to have a feel for the game. That's a pivotal moment. Yeah. Stop the time again. Just say, I'm stopping the clock. This is your chance. You either kick now, or I'm going to turn the ball over. Like, make a serious threat that way. Like, have a feel for that game.
He was making it about himself, I reckon. He wanted his name in the paper, and he solved that problem. Have you spoken to him since? Has he reffed you since?
No, I haven't. We haven't come across each other. And the thing was, it was such a great game too.
Yeah,
from both sides, right? And that was the really disappointing for it to be decided like that. That was my take on it, and I suppose we've got the G'day law, right? I think from that we brought in a shot clock, so I'll have to say, hopefully,
Foley law.
Yeah,
they
trying to speed up the game,
name.
right? So,
should we let's get that. That needs to be a name.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. The Nard rule.
Is the G'day law? Is it the same law as when it was applied for you? It's been adjusted, hasn't it?
It's been changed. Yeah, I don't know what it's at now. My law is actually the Mitchell law, because it was when it was first brought in. It was for 60 caps. And Drew was on 61 and overseas.
Yeah, if it was the Giddo, it would have been 90 caps.
Exactly.
So why didn't they name him the Mitchell?
Well, because his name has more weight.
No, I don't know what happened, but that's the argument.
Just
anyway.
a couple of journos frothing over here.
Yeah.
Anyway, is anybody else? Oh, I wanted to ask you this, right? You travel with these boys a lot. I'm sort of getting to know them now, and I know that they're different personalities, but they're very good friends. What did you learn from these guys? Sort of, it can be anything, on or off the field.
I suppose Swoop and how methodical he is with everything. He was always a good man to room with because you knew exactly where everything was, and you could also always play a few games on him too. And it was always the funniest. He'd walk into the room and I would have rearranged it, moved a couple of shoes, hit a few of his artifacts, and he'd walk in and he'd be, oh no, what have you done? What have you done now?
That's the OCD coming out.
Yeah, quick scan. Yeah, Nard was a bit of a pest. You knew when Nard was in the room.
And Drew, what did you learn from Drew?
Oh, Drew was he was one who he probably didn't know the plays. He never did. But he'd always say to me, mate, just tell me where I've got to be. Just tell me where I've got to be. Like, even before the game or at every scrum or line out. Oh, which one's that again? Okay. So
Yeah, well, just get in your pocket, really. I'll just show up in your pocket.
You knew where to go
Provide
out,
an
though.
option. Yeah. Yeah,
the
sometimes
boys
you just got a certain amount of memory to take up. And
Yeah. You don't want to waste it on
selective.
plays. Yeah.
And Gitz, did you learn much from Gitz?
T-Rex arms. I don't think he's pretty tight, old Gitz. And they came back to do the World Cup, and he'd only been playing professional footy for about 15 years, 100 tests or something. But we're at the pub after, and we had to pass the hat around just so Gitz could buy a few beers.
That's because we weren't getting paid, remember?
Yeah.
We went through this. And Nard, being the funny fella he is, decided to pass the hat around. But you're talking about pests, where he moves shit around and whatever else. It's the same at your 40th. Anytime this idiot would walk past me, he'd just boot me in the shins. And I'm talking to someone, and I just hear this.
A kick of an affection.
I had enough.
you got him back one, though, didn't you?
I got him back, but then I kicked the glass out of my mate's hand, and it didn't end well.
Well, that brings us nicely to, because there is a little bit of niggle between you two Wallaby 10s. I thought that we could do on the show a little bit of a 10s challenge.
All right.
Gitz versus Nard.
Light work.
Sorry?
I just said it'd be light work.
So that we sort of worked out there's three facets to being a good number 10. This is globally. Intelligence. You've got to be pretty wily out there. You're calling plays. And is it the smartest person on the field, guys? Is it the 10?
Easily, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Give it to him.
Or sometimes the 12.
Depending. Handsomeness, generally speaking, most 10s around the world are very handsome. Look at the DCs, the J-Dubs, Johnny Wilkinson.
Yeah.
You say Johnny's good looking?
Johnny
Yeah.
Wilkinson?
Go away.
You don't think Johnny's good looking?
Nah. Not
Right
my,
in. Is Johnny good looking?
no, he's not my type.
There's loads of them.
Yeah, Stephen Donald.
Stephen...
Why is that
Why'd
so
you
funny?
guys laugh? Why'd you guys laugh?
He's just a
Beaver,
funny
he's a
name.
great man.
Yeah, he's a great fella.
Johnny Sexton. He's a bit of a dreamboat.
Yep.
Dan Bigger.
Yep. Man, you're not helping your argument.
Okay, there's a few out there. Anyway, we're saying handsomeness, and then the last one's accuracy, because you've got to be able to hit a target with both your boot and your passes. So we're going to do a little challenge
Let's get
here.
to the quiz.
Yeah.
Good
Is it
news,
a quiz?
It's a bit of a quiz. It's like sort of a little bit of a quiz, a little bit of a, what would you say, physical challenge,
Right.
which is great for you podcast listeners. You won't see a thing, so fantastic. They all just turned off. Hey, but first of all, you guys can each have a phone a friend. Gitz, I'll let you choose
Yeah.
who you.
Gee,
It's either
who do I choose?
Drew or
Swoop? Go, please. Drew. Yeah.
no, you have your old mate.
I mean, I love you, but you know.
I know you love
You're not smart.
Your phone a friend. So the first challenge is intelligence. They're not so much questions; they're more sort of riddles.
Okay.
Who would like to go first? Should we go?
No. He's a
Nard?
guest. Yeah.
Okay, no, here we go. Here's your first question. A red house is made of red bricks. A blue house is made of blue bricks. What's a green house made of?
Glass.
Yeah.
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
Nice.
Easy.
Yep.
What starts with...
Wait a minute. Are these honestly random, or are you hitting me with a hard one?
I just said who
sweet.
wants to start. This
Okay.
is the second one.
Yep.
What starts with E and ends with E, but only has one letter in it?
E.
He's looking to phone a friend. He's saying pick up the phone.
Phone a friend,
Ding,
but
ding.
wouldn't it just be E?
Well, hey, phone your friend.
You're coming
Okay.
across us. Hello.
Yeah, Drew. I need help with a riddle.
Okay, read it to me.
Are you going to? I'll read it. What starts with an E and ends with an E, but only has one letter in it?
Oh, that's easy. Envelope.
Well done.
A ding, ding, ding.
Oh, yes. Lucky I went that way.
Swoop, did you have that one?
Got that one.
Of course you did. Okay, Nard, repeat after me. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4.
4.
What comes after 4?
5.
Idiot. What comes after 4?
Hey, ding, ding, ding.
Ah, yes.
What?
Repeat after me. Would you have got that, Swoop?
Nah.
Question number 4. This is for you, Gits. David's father has 3 sons. Snap, Crackle, and...
David.
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding. Here we go. Nard, Paul's...
How many times can I phone a friend? Because he's putting his hand up
think it's
every
David.
question.
Once, mate.
Okay,
Once, mate. Yeah.
Swoop. No, you can still double points if Swoop gets it.
Throw this one to Swoop. Paul's height is 6 feet. He is an assistant at a butcher's shop, and he has size 9 feet. What does Paul weigh?
Swoop.
Meat.
Ding, ding,
Oh,
ding.
yes.
Woo. Double points.
Swoopy.
You have to
Oh,
get
that
this
stings
one.
me.
Gits.
Yeah.
What has a bottom at the top?
Don't look at
You want to
What?
phone a friend?
Has a
A bottom at the top.
what has a bottom?
This is to win the intelligence test. Pick up the phone. He's
Oh,
waiting.
I
Look
don't
at him.
think I want to ring him. He's looking. That's confuses me. Oh, you got.
There, you go. There we go. Pick it up. Yep.
Hi, you've called Drew. He's not here right now.
Oh, I can't get this one.
Gentlemen, if you get this, you win this. What has a bottom at the top?
Bottom at the top. Swoop, you got it?
Swoop, anything? Nothing?
No.
All right, the answer, your legs. Oh, did you get it then? Your legs?
Legs.
Oh, I was going to say
We-
toilet.
Were you going to say legs then?
I
No?
was, yeah.
Oh, well, you win. Ding, ding, ding.
No, I was going to say it too.
Oh, equal points.
Equal points. on
All right.
intelligence.
Next challenge is handsomeness. You got to be handsome. All
Oh,
right.
still going.
For the average beautiful person, what order does one's morning skincare routine progress in? Put these 4 steps in order.
That's a Swoop question.
We'll start with you this time.
Yeah,
Kids.
lovely.
This is to you.
Yep.
Toner, cleanser, SPF moisturizer, and vitamin C serum. Put them in order. Toner, cleanser, SPF moisturizer, vitamin C serum. This is what DC...
Cleanser,
Correct is one. Yep.
then your tone.
Correct. You've got SPF moisturizer and vitamin C serum.
Gee, I reckon I'd probably throw the serum on first, and then I'd fill it with the SPF.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
You handsome devil. And I could hear a bit of help there from your phone a friend. Both of you very handsome. Okay, Nard. In the world of fashion, what does a French tuck look like?
French tuck.
You haven't played in France,
I
have
haven't.
you? This is a bit
Sure you
unfair.
have.
Well, you got your phone
Oh,
friend
man,
there.
I French tuck all the time.
Do you French tuck?
I love it, yeah. It's huge.
Do you, Drew, do you French tuck?
Yeah, it's where you put you.
No.
To the left.
The old fella down.
I'll phone a friend.
Phone a friend,
You've been-
Swoop. What is a French tuck
You're
in
the
fashion?
fashionista.
What is it? A shirt in at the front, out at the back?
Ding, ding, ding. Whoa.
There you go.
What is it?
Tucked in at the front,
Out at the back.
party at the back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kids is hating that.
Gits, if you are truly handsome,
Hmm.
then Game must acknowledge Game. Who won the 2023 People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive last year?
Oh, I know this.
Hello.
Yeah. Drew, who was the not you. You were tied, but who
Yeah.
tied with you for sexiest man
It was
2023?
The bloke from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I know the fella, what he looks like.
That's him.
He's a bit older. He's been number 2 a few times, but now he got the
If
he
you
got
can
the
get
gong.
his name.
Hmm.
Yes.
Patrick Temps. Dempsey.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Good,
great
boys.
teamwork
Yes.
there.
That was exciting. This is a great show. Cosmopolitan magazine, Nard,
Here to stay.
ran a survey of women's biggest turn-offs when it comes to men's appearances. What do you think topped the list? What's the biggest turn-off?
Appearance.
Yeah, don't say bald because that's offensive to one of us, and it's not right.
Ooh,
Do you want to phone a friend?
Swoop, how confident here?
Not really, but what are you thinking?
What graces
I'm
your missus out? Swoop?
Hey?
What graces your missus out?
The gut,
Take your
but, probably poor hygiene.
Yes, it's a type of hygiene though. So you are onto it.
Easy.
Bad breath.
You want to go with bad breath?
Don't go with bad breath.
No, we're not going with bad breath. He would have accelerated. He would
I
have
would have gone
Yeah.
ding, 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 but I
Yeah,
didn't.
you would've-
What do you got? Here we go.
body odour.
Oh, no. Have you got one?
Hey?
What's
For
the
the,
guess?
for the win.
Dandruff?
No, nail hygiene. If you got dirty
Oh, really?
nails.
Oh, that's G up.
Gets in 2023, a survey in America listed the sexiest accents on men.
Yep.
Australian came first.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
Of course.
G'day, ladies. Yeah.
Yeah.
What accent came second? Was it? Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you. It's not multiple choice. What accent came second?
Or if they like the Aussie, nothing really compares, does it? Kiwi's close, but it's not very sexy. Would you think like European something?
Hey, who's giving him eyes? Tommy, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
I don't know. I mean, I thought Canada for some reason, but I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, that's a nice little one. We'll go with Canada.
No, have you got a guess, boys?
Drew, I thought
I'll
you
say
got
French.
cheated.
No, wrong. It was Kiwi.
Oh,
Well, I thought being close to
yes.
ours, but
is it an
a bit-
attractive language?
It is.
well, not
yes.
really there,
Oh.
bro.
Yes.
It is.
I'm 60. Yeah.
Multiple choice.
Yeah, it's 60. Scottish was third. Hey, this is the last one. This is for you, Nard. I think you can win it with this. What length do health professionals recommend for pubic hair to be?
Are we talking Japanese or are we talking Australian?
It doesn't say here where they are from.
Well, there's pube experts out there, is there?
Yeah, it's a real art.
Really?
Yeah.
You got someone in your head?
Almost like the bonsais.
Yes. Yeah,
Get 'em
yeah. You
trimmed
get them
up.
sculpted.
Mastery of the pubes.
It's not a bad
If you
business to
if
start.
you're within 15 centimetres, I will let you know.
Within 15.
What?
Oh. I'll
Yeah,
say
you-
2
2 centimetres?
centimetres.
Yeah, that'll do.
No, it's incorrect. 1.27 centimetres. Keep your pubes at that length.
Oh.
That's a tight game they're running. I like it.
1.2.
Yeah.
1.27.
Yeah, well, you said.
I said within 15 centimetres.
So,
Yeah, 15 centimetres is this.
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
So I'm thinking.
don't keep it that loose.
Took me back to the Japanese change room. They love a bush up there.
So you're right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ding, ding, ding. Now,
On
we
that,
are,
I had a mate, player that we were with, and he had a huge bush in Japan. We said, mate, whip that back. Mrs. will love it. Give you a bit of extra length. Whipped it back. She hated it.
Really?
Didn't
Yeah, it
touch
was
him
off
for
him.
ages.
Yeah.
Properly off him.
Wow.
isn't
Yeah.
that
Sort of
interesting?
a sign of
What-
impurity.
What length you're
Oh,
running?
if you whip it off.
Yeah, if you whip it off. So
All right.
in the Japanese
Yeah,
culture.
Oh,
I don't
I'm-
love the back burner.
I'm as impure as they come then.
Are
Yeah.
you really?
Ball as
Like a
prof.
seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like prof.
I like it.
I'm about 15 centimetres. Hey, all right. Let's finish this wonderful little show that is the KOKO Show. Just a reminder, you can buy these shirts. Budgie Smuggler, get on there, buy them. www.budgiesmuggler.com/KOKO Show. Make sure you buy lots. It's only for a very limited time. And a limited amount. We're just testing it out. And it's a big thanks to Nick at Paloco, who's helped us with the designs
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So it's just a limited run. We're just testing it out to see whether people actually want to buy them. Would you buy this, Nard?
Not if I get given them.
Good point. Just a reminder, socials, kickoffs, kick-ons, everywhere except for YouTube, which is kickoff and kick-ons. And also, we are going to Hong Kong. If you're there and you watch, come up and say g'day. Thanks to Cathay Pacific and Ovolo.
I might need a chat because after the last weekend, I'm a bit nervous about Hong Kong.
Yeah, but the beauty of being an adult is you make decisions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm faced with one.
And sounds like you've already made the bad one. If you're nervous about it.
Well, I'm scared that if I go to Hong Kong, I'll make plenty of bad ones.
Yeah, but it won't be the worst decision maker on the trip.
Oh, yeah, swoop.
Yeah.
Just make sure we're hitting record when you're making those bad decisions. Yeah. That's how we get paid. Hong Kong Tourism Board and Cathay Pacific, big thanks to them as well. Hey, that's the show. That is the KOKO Show. Nard, good luck for the rest of the season up there in Japan.
Thanks, fellas.
Do the
Thanks
show
for coming
proud.
for the 40th and the weekend.
That's all right.
Appreciate
that.
that.
That was my first one, so
Yeah.
probably stick clear of them now.
Well, you got one on the weekend.
Yeah, you're feeling
For
the
good
boots
reason.
this week.
Fairly well. Hey, give us one, Drew.
KOKO! G'day, please, if you like the show, well, show us you liked it by pressing like and subscribe so we can exist, because we don't have any more money. We need your support. And make sure you check out our other videos.